Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So since ChatGPT just came out with the plugins and is able to do web browsing, I think it's a good time to compare it with Bing and Bard, which also has the same functionalities, and it would be a more fair comparison. So this is what we're gonna do today, and let's get started. So as you can see, we have all the three windows open. We have ChatGPT in the first one. Second one is Bing, and then the third one is Bard, and then we're just gonna like type in different commands and see how they respond to it. So I think we can start with what are the differences. First of all, a company-wise, ChatGPT belongs to OpenAI, but Microsoft has a big chunk of it. Bing is from Microsoft and Bard is from Google. So for language model, ChatGPT uses GPT-4, so is Bing also uses GPT-4. Bard uses Lambda. Price-wise, ChatGPT is not free if you want the web browsing plugin. Currently is $20 per month for ChatGPT Plus. For Bing, it's free, and then for Bard, it's also free. However, if you want to use Bing, you'll have to get the Edge browser that is owned by Microsoft. And if you're using the other ones, Bard and the ChatGPT, you can just use Chrome if you're already a Chrome user, which a lot of people already are. There's also a limit on the messages that you can send if you're using ChatGPT. As you can see, for GPT-4 currently has a cap of 25 messages every 3 hours, but for Bard and Bing, they don't really have limits for now. Let's first start with verifying the recent news. I'll say like how accurate it is. I'll just start with when did WHO announce the end of the pandemic? Let's just take a look on how they will react. This we already have. The browser with Bing turned on, ChatGPT-4 would be using browser functionality. I have a different video on teaching you how to turn it on if you have a ChatGPT Plus account. I'll attach the link later. So yeah, let's see how they would reply. Okay, Bart came out with the fastest answer, and it says that WHO announced on May 5th, 2023, that COVID is no longer a public health emergency of international concern. The decision was made after the WHO Emergency Committee met on Thursday and recommended that blah blah blah. This looks right. So that it was announced on May 5th. And let's take a look at Bing. According to multiple sources, the WHO announced at the end of the pandemic as a global health emergency on 5th May 2023, which is pretty similar to this one, a little bit more summarized, I'll say, giving you the same answers, but not with too much extra details. For ChatGPT, the World Health Organization announced the end of COVID-19 pandemic as a public health emergency on May 5th, 2023. This is like the cleanest answer out of all of these answers. You can see that they have the reference here. It is similar for Bing. However, Bard does not have a reference. Okay, next we're going to take a look of whether they're able to respond to different languages. I chose Chinese. I'll just ask in Chinese if you know how to speak Chinese. Windows, and then let's start because ChatGPT is the slowest usually. Oh, but I guess because it doesn't need research online, so it gave a response pretty fast and is able to reply to you in Chinese. Bing also is able to, and it also listed out the other languages that it's able to respond to. And lastly, as you can see, Bard couldn't really do much right now. So next, let's try out the creativity of these three different tools. First of all, I started with asking them if they know about the emotional damage meme, just so they have some context. And then I'm gonna ask them if they could create a joke with that. Here we go. Just gonna copy all of this. Recent network error. Regenerate. Okay, so let's look at Bing. Bing said, I'm going to I'm going to ask our crush today. Wish me luck. Friend, good luck, man. You got this. Me walks up to a crush. Hey, I was wondering if you would like to go out with me sometime. Crush laughs. Sorry, but I don't date losers. Me walks back to friend. Friend says, so how did it go? Throw shoes, emotional damage. This one is nice. I like it. A little bit long, but it's funny. What do you call a paper airplane that crashes and burns? Emotional disaster. Here is another one. Why did the paper airplane go to therapy? Because it was feeling folded. I mean, it's funny, but it didn't really use the emotional damage meme. So I think that it doesn't really understand the context of it. And lastly, we have ChatGPT here. So why did the computer go to therapy? Because its Windows kept crashing, causing it emotional damage. Em- I guess it could work because its window kept crashing, causing it emotional damage. I'll say Bart didn't really get it, but the best one was probably from Bing. So next I'm gonna see how it behaves on the emotional intelligence aspect. I'm gonna tell them that I am stressed from because I got bad grades and see how they reply. Well, for ChatGPT, it says, I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling stressed due to your test grades. It's completely normal to feel this way. So it asserts that your feelings first and that it gives you certain suggestions on what you could do. And for for Bing, it's a little bit more like a person. I'm sorry to hear that getting bad grades can be disappointing and frustrating, but don't let it get you down. You can always learn from your mistakes and improve your skills. Remember, grades are not the only measure, blah, blah, blah. And then Bard gave a similar approach as ChatGPT. I understand you're stressed because you got bad grades on your test. Like, first assert that your feelings and then give you a bunch of suggestions and additional tips. Okay, so now I'll test it out and just for, I guess, like laugh and giggles, answer like an Asian parent. Let's see. Okay, so it says that I understand you're looking for a response from the perspective of a traditional Asian parent. Please keep in mind that this is generalizing and not all Asian parents have the same reaction or perspective. However, here is a response that aligns with the stereotype. Oh, geez, it actually understands what I'm looking for, but I think it's a little bit too scared to give me the direct response. So it says, you've received bad grades. This is not acceptable. Education is the most important thing for your future. You must work harder and dedicate more time to your studies. This is not about comparing you to others, but about reaching your highest potential. And for Bing, it says, in this context, a human might say something like this. It doesn't directly say it, but it says a human might say this. And it says, "What bad grades? How can you do this to me? You're bringing shame to the family." Blah blah blah, which kind of fits the stereotype. And for Bart, it just says, I'm not able to help with that. I'm only a language model. I don't have necessary information or abilities." I think they're all a little bit scared of like responding to these stereotype situations, even though you're asking them to. I think it understands the context pretty well in this case. Okay, last one would be a mathematical expression and see if they're able to get the like the right answer. So for this one, if we calculate it right now, it's 4 times 2, 8, 8 plus 2 is 10, 5 squared is 25, 25 divided by 2 is 12.5, so 10 minus 12.5 is minus 2.5, and that would be the correct answer. I think this is a relatively easy calculation. Okay, as you can see, ChatGPT got the right results, minus 2.5. Wait, how? Why is it minus 8.5? This is wrong. Yes, this is right. So, like, 4 times 2, 8, plus 2, 10. I don't know how it got minus 8.5. So this is wrong. I'm kind of surprised. And for Bart, it also got it right. Huh. I would thought that Bart wouldn't get it right, but apparently Bing didn't get it right. So I guess there's some accuracy issues. Okay, let's take a look at why. How did it get this answer? Yeah, that's the right order of things. So that's 25. First, calculated the exponent and then multiplication. 25 to, yes, that's 12.5. Then what? 2, that's 10 minus 12.5. How is 10 minus 12.5 8.5? Like minus 8.5. You're wrong. 2 plus 8 minus 12.5 is not minus 8.5. I'm sorry if you think I'm wrong, but I'm confident that my answer is correct. Maybe you can check your calculation again or use a different method to verify it. Oh my gosh. I think Bing is a little bit sassy right now. It's 2.5. I am so confused right now. Okay, I'm gonna stop this response because I don't understand it anymore. The last one would be a logic question. I'll just read this question out right now. So red is on the left side, and then yellow is in the middle, green is on the right. If I put orange on the left side of green, who is on the left? So with this current order of things, it should be red, and then yellow in the middle, orange in the middle, green on the right hand side. I'm just wondering, so the answer to this would be on the left would be reds. Let's see if it's able to answer it properly. Okay. So Bart came back with, if you put orange on the left side of green, then the order of the colors from left to right will be orange, green, yellow, and red. Therefore, orange would be on the left, which is wrong. Orange is not it's not on the left because green is on the right, the furthest right. So if you put it on the left side of the furthest right, then it's not going to be on the furthest left. So this is not right. Let's see for Bing. If you put orange on the left side of green, then red is still on the left. The order of the color from left to right would be red, yellow, orange, green. This is right. And for ChatGPT, if red is on the left, yellow is in the middle, and green is on the right, blah, 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 then what? And you put orange on the left side of green, then the order from left to right would be orange, red, yellow, green. Wait, I am confused right now. Why are two of them wrong? Okay, let's do this. How about this? I'll just like visualize this right now. Okay, my description. Left. This is left. I'm sure this is left. Right. Red is on the left. Yellow is in the middle, and then green is on the right. If I put orange on the left side of green, which let me copy and paste orange back. So this is the left side of green. Okay. So the order would be red, yellow, orange, green. Wow, ChatGPT got it wrong. And also, Bart got it wrong. Okay, I mean, I don't know how much I can trust you guys right now. Based on the results, I'm kind of surprised that all of them actually made mistakes. Well, Bing got the math question wrong, and then ChatGPT and Bard got the logic question wrong. So I don't think you can really trust these tools when you're doing your math assignments or homework in general. You definitely have to verify it online, make sure that they are actually speaking the facts or the truth. Overall, I think other tasks were okay. I'll say for creativity wise, I like Bing the most, which is probably a little bit unfair just because at the beginning I, defined it to be a little bit more creative. When well, there were a few selections at the beginning where you can choose its personality kind of, so it was a little bit more creative on answering stuff. I think it made the most sense on the creativity side. And also when you talk about like emotional intelligence, it did a pretty good job too. For speed, as you can see, it definitely takes ChatGPT a little bit longer than the other two. Bing is a little bit faster, but Bard is the fastest. Whether the responses are accurate or not is really debatable. I would have thought that Bard would be the least accurate, but I think we're not really asking it enough questions right now to see which one actually is more accurate or not. Here's the demo. Hopefully, it will be somehow helpful for you to decide on which tool you'll prefer to use. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for tuning in, and remember to subscribe.